What's up again, everybody? I've had this topic on my mind throughout the day because I've heard from a few people that they've seen the Blitz lists, the deck lists for the pre-con Blitz decks for Outsiders, and that overall there was sort of a general sense of, underwhelmingness perhaps, because I think there were people that were thinking there would be something like mentors or, like a special treatment for the hero, maybe like a full art type thing. And because there's not much of that in these Blitz decks, that for existing players, they don't serve much purpose. And I wanted to kind of touch on that because I've been thinking about it a lot today. It's sort of wedged itself in my brain, and I want to give you my opinions on why I think, honestly, that's okay. So first of all, this is the list apparently due to Fabrary, or someone on Fabrary has built this. This is the list that they have for Riptide. It's fairly straightforward. I just want to point out that there's only commons and rares in this, the rares being the traps, and the commons fill out the rest of that, including, and of course, these are all cards that you can get in the set, so technically, this is a very easy to build pre-con out of existing product, and that is something we're going to come back to. The Katsu Blitz deck, some similarities here. We've got two rares. Let's see, are there any other rares in this? I can't recall. I don't remember. They're showing the Whelming Gustwave. No, it's common. And then two Lunging Presses. So again, four rares. The rest of this, basically a commoner deck as well. And so on and so on and so forth. So looking at the Benji pre-con list, and I believe these are the pre-con lists, so correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments below. But these pre-cons you can pick up from your store, from your local game store when the set releases, and you can pick them up for cheap, and you can try these heroes out along with all of the heroes now in basically the classic constructed format. Now they all have their own Blitz decks, and one of the things that's very interesting to me is the construction of these decks, in my opinion, are truly fantastic for what their purpose is, and it's that purpose that, in my opinion, makes it 100% okay to pass on these if you are an enfranchised longtime player of the game. And the reason is, and the crux of it all is, this is not a product built for you. And that's okay. It's okay to have products that aren't designed for enfranchised players, okay? Because if all products were designed specifically for players that have been playing the game for a long time, well, you're going to end up not bringing new players into the game, and that's what this product is designed for. And it's also, in some ways, what the Classic Battles set was attempting to do, attempting to give the flavor of Flesh and Blood to a new player. Unfortunately, it dropped the ball in respect regarding the price, of course. In my opinion, the biggest holdback factor with it was the price. But the same mentality of this is a product for new players to try the game out and to really kind of sink their teeth into how this plays. In some ways, the Classic Battles tried to do that and solve that sort of question. It answered the question. And I would say that these decks do a far better job of that for a couple of reasons. One, these are cheap. They are easy to pick up from your local game store, and they are made basically, and I think 100% in almost every respect, except for Unmovable here, made of cards from the set that these heroes reside in. So Uzuri here, almost all of these cards, save Quelling Robe, Ironhide Legs, and Unmovable, are in the set. So you can essentially build this if you want to buy packs and buy product, which is really good for new players. But if you don't want to, you can just pick this up off the shelf and try Uzuri, and then decide if you want to buy into those packs. The same thing could be said from Riptide. I mean, look at this. You've got Hemorrhage Boar from the previous set from Dynasty, Increase the Tension from Crew, technically, and then outside of that, and Searing Shot, the rest of this stuff, and here's Salvage Shot as well. The rest of this is just built in. So you got 2, 4, 6, 8 cards, and then the Iron Rot Legs, which has been printed, multiple times at this point as well, in Unlimited and multiple sets. So essentially what we're getting at is these are very easy to build either in set or to build similarly out of set. Now, I will say Katsu is a little bit different because like Fluster Fist and Open the Center are classic WTR cards, Whelming Gustwave as well, Surging Strike, which was printed in this set. But the point being that these are easy to build, and the second point, of course, following up that, is that these are built from mostly common cards, so they are cheap to build in general as well. Again, if you wanted to build these things yourself, but if you don't want to, you have the option of just picking these up as a new player, and that's what these are designed for. These are designed very well as well to show you exactly what the hero wants to do. So for Katsu, you're running all of the Be-like waters, and you're just supposed to jam these out and then link these into Descending Gust Waves, open the centers, and just it really shows the fanciness and the wonderfulness of a card like Be-like Water to smooth out what combo does and to give you a feel for how combo functions. And that's what new players want, to understand how the game works first, and then how this hero plays on what axis they kind of operate on, to see if they actually like that hero. And the fact that we don't necessarily get, some super foil treatment is really okay in a lot of respects for us and franchise players, because we find those in the box product already. I can't tell you how many people I know will buy multiples of these Blitz decks because they want, like, the rainbow foil hero, or they want the for example, classic battles, they want the cold foil, or even worse, if they print a mechanically unique card like a Mentor into a product like this product no longer becomes for a new player only. And technically, you can also own this if you're a collector, and you can also own this if you want to pick up and try, heroes for yourself, or just to not have to build something, or your store can run events. But specifically, if this product had, like cold foils or, very fancy rainbow foil treatment, it starts to become something that players have to go out and purchase if there are mechanically unique cards, or if they're collectors and they want to go out and purchase or have that, shiny thing, then they have to go out and purchase this product, of which 90% of the product they already have or are not going to use in its current iteration. And that's what annoys me about the idea of a mechanically unique card in a pre-con product like this. In my opinion, these products should not have mechanically unique cards or, extra foil secret treatments, simply because the moment you introduce those into a card like, or a set like this, where you want to, I want to try this new Arachne Solitary Confinement, but all of them have been purchased because they all had a mechanically unique card that you want to run 2 of in Blitz, or because everyone wanted the cold foil. I'm a new player, I'm coming here. It has to be there. It has to be available and has to be ready to purchase. And if there are multiple heroes available and ready to purchase, you can pick up multiple at a small price point, play them against each other very easily. And so having stock in a game store that hasn't been picked through or picked over because players need a specific card in multiples to actually play is a very good thing, in my opinion, because you stock it, new players can pick it up, you can push people to it. It's an easy product to point to and say, hey, just pick up the Uzuri Blitz deck. It's got a lot of cards you're going to end up finding in this set, but you know what? At least you have it. You try it out. If you don't like this hero, just grab a different one, or pick up 2 and then play with a friend and swap if you don't end up liking the hero that you like. Because of this functionality, and because they chose not to print mechanically unique cards in this, and also not to print, special foil treatments and put cold foils in here, you are able as LSS to enable, new player entry and ease of access much more easily. This is the interesting thing. When Flesh and Blood came out, there were people that were literally building decks like this out of common and rare cards and like selling them for pennies so that players could just play, or just giving them away so that players could just play. And that's essentially what this product is. It's literally just the spiritual successor to the community created decks both in Commoner and in, just any format, period, for players to pick up at their local game store. That's literally what this is. You should think of these products as exactly that. And if you don't need that, good, that's fine, it's okay. Leave it for other players to pick up. Now, there is one thing that I think this really pays off for, all of these pay off for, if you are an enfranchised player, and this is what I hope you stuck with me to this point. Because if you're an enfranchised player, you've been playing for a long time, but you've never played other formats, or you've never built for other formats like Commoner, these are great starting points. Like, for example, go back to this Azuri deck. If you're looking at this Azuri deck, and you're looking at all of these cards, if you wanted to play this in Commoner, what do you have to do? Well, you have to take out Death Touch. Okay, that's easy. There's 2 of them. I take out 2 Death Touches. You have to take out Humbles. Okay, I take out 2 Humbles. That's not bad at all. Take out 2 Sneak Attacks. Okay, I can do that. Taking out 2 Sneak Attacks seems pretty easy. You're done. Place 6 other cards that do something similar that can swap in with Azuri's Switchblade ability, and you're off to the races. So immediately, upon picking this up, you can make 6 common card swaps, which again, not expensive, and all of a sudden you have a Commoner Blitz deck if you wanted to play that format. And I will go one step further, and I will always die on this hill. These are great decks to try the format of Ultimate Pit Fight. Multiplayer Flesh and Blood is far better than anyone who says nay, they think. It's far better than what you think. It is far more engaging and more fun because the crux of the matter, and I will die on this freaking hill, the crux of the matter is that you are playing multiplayer Flesh and Blood, an already fun and engaging game with friends, with people that you enjoy being around. And if you don't know them, well, this opens the opportunity to have a little bit more fun. And so these are all fantastic ways to literally just pick up a deck. And in fact, heck, find 3 friends. All of you buy a deck one day. Doesn't matter what you buy. Consider it like a tournament. Each of you has a $10 buy-in. Buy one of these stinking decks, sit down, and play a UPF, and try it for yourself. What's the barrier of entry? $40, 2 hours, not even, an hour probably. $40 an hour split across 4 friends. These are perfect for that. And so I think these things are a slam dunk. All of these Blitz decks that they're releasing are a slam dunk. And I said this about those previous ones that they released for the extension heroes, like the Kano Blitz deck and all of those. They are slam dunks. They're well designed. They give you the feel for the hero, and you take it and you run with it into different formats, or you build off of it by adding, higher rarity cards. So this is just something that I've been thinking about. It was not the video I was planning on making today. In fact, I'll do that video tomorrow because that video is an Azuri Blitz deck tech. But today, I've just been thinking a lot about how these decks are actually fantastic in my mind. And if I'm wrong, let me know in a comment down below. Tell me what I'm wrong about down there. And if you enjoy me ranting about how I feel about Blitz decks, climb the number, because 2 people and this number ticks up. Look, that 5 becomes a 6. How exciting is that? As always, thanks for watching.